yeah, that's about where we be with these pants. Hey, Joy Chasers, it's Dr. Naima Johnston-Bush from The Refreshing Life, where our goal is to help you to live a life of exuberant joy, powerful prayer, and sincere gratitude. And I'm still fighting a losing battle with my eyebrow. No matter how much I brush it, it just doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do. And I just don't want to get it plucked or threaded or shaved, or I don't even know, because then it might grow back like this. I don't even know. So anyway, I wanted to talk with you all because I was listening to this video, and they were talking about how you can change your life in 30 days, you know, or not so much you could change your life in 30 days, but if you start today, you'll be further along on your journey than if you wait until January 1st to start. Nobody ever starts on January 1st, because on January 1st it's still a holiday and we still eating God knows what. And then it's January 2nd, the next thing you know, or January 3rd. But anyway, and don't let it not fall on a Monday. I don't even know when January 1st falls. Let's see, when does January 2019 calendar, let's see when it falls. It falls on a Tuesday. But then it's like, no, January 1st is on a Tuesday, which means January 2nd is on a Wednesday, which means you don't want to start in the middle of the week. So you just are like, well, I guess I'll just start, you know, on Monday the 7th. And then the next thing you know is March. But anyway, some of us will be a little bit more diligent because most of us go to church on Wednesdays. That those of us that do go to church go on Wednesdays. And if we're doing any kind of consecration or fasting for the year, it usually begins with the Wednesday night service. So, but that's neither here nor there. The point of this video is today is November 28th, and I'm going to upload this video. It'll probably be next week. But anyway, it may be Friday. But anyway, I'm going to upload this video. And I want to see how far I can get in several areas of my life by January 1st to prove the point. What happens when you start today versus waiting for the next week, the next meal, the next whatever. Now, it has been an interesting year. 2018, my word was fruition. That all of these things were going to come to fruition. You know, I was finally going to make my goal weight. That didn't happen. That I finally was going to meet my financial goals. That didn't happen. I was going to get out of debt. That didn't happen. And that we were going to finish our adoption process and start our family. That didn't happen. Now, in my defense, some of that is a direct result of moving from Florida to Louisiana unexpectedly. So when we started the year, we had all these goals and plans, and moving was not part of that vision. But you know, we make plans and God laughs. So I don't even know sometimes why we plan. But anyway, I made a plan and God laughed. And so February is always my busiest month, and for ministry and my educational consulting company. And we got to the middle of February and we got the call about coming to Louisiana. So there was, you know, 2 weeks there where we were in prayer and in conflict, my husband and I, basically, because he felt like we needed to move and I felt like we needed to stay. And so that was like a big deal. But ultimately, I prayed about it and I felt released from the Lord. I mean, I would have gone anyway because I'm old school. I believe in, you know, submitting to your husband. He's the head of the house. I'd have been mad. But I would have went, which is what happened. So we moved here. So most of February was spent packing, which meant we ate out a lot. My mother came to help us move, and that was unexpected. And then she was with us for almost a month. And then we got to Louisiana. It was like the last week in March. But you know, anytime you make that kind of a major move, it's like all kinds of just, everything is out of whack. Everything is out of schedule. Bucho had surgery, had to have all his teeth taken out. And it didn't look like he was going to make it for a minute there. So, you know, the stress of all of that and then moving. So then we get here at the end of March. My mother leaves the first week in April, and then April and May, it's trying to figure out, where do I fit in? How do I belong in this new place, which is so different from where I'd always lived. I've always lived in big cities. I'm a New York City girl, born and raised, and I lived in Columbus, Ohio, and that don't sound big, but Columbus is a really big city. They had over 1 million people. Dayton, not as big, but it was close enough to everything else that it was a big city. And then we moved to Jacksonville, which is the largest city in the country by land mass, although there's only less than 1 million people there. But I mean, it was a big city, 800,000, 900,000 people to come to Leesville, and we're not even popping 40,000 people when you count the Army base, the town next door, and us. We're looking at without the Army base, it's probably only 10,000 people in this area, in this town in Leesville, which, we're city sisters, New Lano and Leesville. So anyhow, there was a lot of social events, a lot of social activities, a lot of late nights as John was getting acclimated. There's a lot of school events and functions. And so it was a lot of eating out, and there was a lot of times that I had to put the work that I was doing on the back burner, and a number of the things that I had started, I really couldn't finish because I was helping him in ways that I hadn't anticipated helping him. I mean, there was just a lot going on. And then, like I said, trying to get acclimated, making new friends, getting involved in church. What I found though, moving here was an amazing church family. I have a ton of friends, probably more than I ever had in Jacksonville. Not even probably, I do. I have a ton more friends than I ever had in even maybe Columbus. Dayton and Nashville, I had a lot of friends in Nashville. I had a lot of friends, of course, in Dayton and Columbus because I lived there for so long. But anyway, I became the women's ministry pastor, and I started getting asked to do things in the community, and these things would pop up last minute. And then I started subbing for the school. And so all this stuff happened, and it really just kind of threw me off. So I look back over the year, and I have achieved a lot of things that I hadn't, I've achieved a lot of things that I had planned to achieve, but there were a lot of things that I didn't achieve. And so I looked up, and I wound up realizing that I had gained probably, anyhow, I don't know, because I haven't been on the scale. The only thing I've been brave enough to do is check my sugar, which is still normal. But these are my jeans. These are my size 24 jeans. Now, when we moved, they were just a teeny bit tight, but I could wear them. I can't button them now. You can get a demonstration later. Anywho, I can't button them. And so I've decided that if I start now, because if I wait until, the first of the year, how that's 32 days from now. What a lot can happen in 32 days. And so these are some areas that I would like to see my life changed in. So by January 2nd, and I'll give you periodic video updates as we go, I'd like to be able to get back in my size 22 jeans. One of the other areas that I definitely became weak in was consistency. I used to get on and get on live and sing every Wednesday and do a Bible study lesson every Thursday. And as Periscope kind of fell off, I kind of fell off, even though Instagram and Facebook are still available. And then just doing a lot of little things for the ministry and the business that would really help it grow. I haven't been as diligent with that as I need to be, as I should be. And so for the next 30 days, I'm going to put that first in my list of priorities that come after my marriage and my relationship with the Lord and my marriage. Everything else after being consistent with the things that I know I'm supposed to do, the things I'm called to do, will have to take a back seat, even if that means telling some people no over the next 30 days. And so I'd like to see where I get. The third thing is I've got all these little financial things hanging out there. I need to get my student loans together. I need to come up with a budget. I need to get my planning done for 2019. And financially, I am in ministry full time. So between ministry full time and I have an educational consulting business. If those two aren't firing on all cylinders, then financially I'm unable to do my part in terms of keeping my house, secure where it needs to be. And so the third thing is going to be focusing on my educational business so that it generates the financial resources that I need to take care of the things that I need. We have one car. I'd like my own car. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna get a car in 30 days, but I definitely in the next 30 days can set up some systems and marketing and programs and put those things in place to move me closer to that goal. We also need health insurance. Do you know the cost of health insurance? So we need health insurance, and I need to be able to do my part in terms of our family. And so those are the three things. And then there's one more thing I'm going to talk about, but those three things. So it's getting back into my genes, which really equals to getting back on track and getting healthy before I have to go see the doctor in January and have my CAT scan for my liver and all that stuff. Yeah. So it's that. That's the first thing. It's getting healthy. The second thing is being consistently doing the things, let's say primarily for the ministry, the thing that God has called me to do to make sure that that gets done. The third thing is getting my finances together and building my educational consulting business to help get my finances together. And then the fourth thing is doing everything we can do to grow our family. Now, we were on the adoption process. We were in the middle of the process in Florida, and we had gotten very far, and then we decided to move. And when we moved, we were told that when we got to Louisiana, we would just be able to pick up where we had left off in Florida, and that would be it. Now, had that been the case, we would have been fostering and moving towards adoption probably right about now. But that was not the case. When we got to Louisiana, we were told we had to retake all of the classes, and we had to redo all of the paperwork and redo all of the background checks. We had to redo everything because there is no federal process. Every state has their own process, which is really kind of whack if you think about it. But anyhow, it's neither here nor there. So we had to start over. So we have been taking the steps to do what needs to be done, but there's still things that need to be done. There are references we're still waiting on, so they need to be followed up on. The dogs need physicals. We need physicals. There's all this stuff that needs to still happen. A couple of things we need to get for the house. There's just things that need to happen. And so over the next 32 days, I am committing to those 4 things. And I'm going to take you on this journey with me to see what happens at the end of these 32 days. Where am I? What was successful? What wasn't successful? And have you, YouTube family, hold me accountable on this journey. So for our 4 priorities, getting healthy, getting back in them 22 genes, being consistent in the ministry that God has called. And being consistent is even being consistent in my prayer life and in my devotional time. Because I find that when that's out of whack, it's a lot easier not to be responsible with my health. When I am lined up with the Lord and spending quality time in prayer and in study, I have a much easier time staying on track with my health. And I know that has a lot to do with my past struggles with food addiction and stress eating. And so, okay, so those 2 things, right? So health and wellness, getting back in my genes, what was that? Consistency, getting my finances in order. And that also includes getting my taxes ready so that I'm not running around like a chicken all January. So getting my taxes ready, getting, a plan together about my student loans, and building my financial, my educational business. And then the last one is finishing the process for, or getting the process moving even quicker for our fostering adoption application. So if you'd like to take this journey with me, I would appreciate it. Please feel free, if you don't want to miss anything, including some of the things that I'm going to have coming up on this journey. Hit the subscribe button. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And hit the notification bell. Bing, 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 bing. So that you never miss a video. And if you'd like to learn to live a life of exuberant joy, powerful prayer, and sincere gratitude, come join us in the Refreshing Life group on Facebook. We are on a mission to encourage 1,000 women, one woman at a time. That's our goal for the next 2 years. Our ultimate goal is to encourage as many women as possible. And if you're a dude and you want to hang out with us, you love the Lord, come on, you can hang out with us too. So I will keep you updated, and we're on a wild journey to joy with Jesus. See, it says find joy in the journey. Hallelujah. Okay, on that note, I'm going to go eat a smoothie, feed my dogs, and just put some shoes on so I can go to the post office. In that order. Love ya. Stay in touch. Bye, Joy Chasers.